ChatGPT. When you think of ChatGPT, anybody wants to give me what they would use it for? Where do you need help when it comes to job search? Let's see if ChatGPT can help. I have a bunch of examples I can give, but I just want to make sure that it's more tailored towards you guys. So when you're thinking of ChatGPT, where can it help you in your career? Anybody has any examples of? So we can show it. Use it. I use it for cover letters. Deborah's use it for cover letters. Yeah, great. What else? Anybody wants to give us like a live? Yeah, so let's show Deborah that. So Deborah, let's I know you already use it, but let's show it to the rest of the group. So for example, and LinkedIn messages, Howard, yeah, perfect. So I'll show it for people that might not have used it before. So let's say you're doing a cover letter. You can say, or interviews even, you can say, I am interviewing, I am speaking with a hiring manager. I'm gonna make things up, guys, with a hiring manager for a technical writing, technical writing role. What kind of questions for technical writing role in a federal agency? What kind of questions should I expect? And it will spit out a bunch of questions. So it helps you. So you can even say, I am interviewing for position for technical writing role. Here's the job description. You copy paste the job description into ChatGPT, and it will give you an actual specific questions that would ask based on the job description. So that's one. And it gives you like even examples. It's like provide examples of your ability to simplify. Like it will give you a little prompt as well, which I think is pretty funny. So that's one way. It's like, what kind of questions you're like, okay, I don't know what, etc. You can also say, because there's different levels to interview. So sometimes you're going to interview with a recruiter. A recruiter versus a hiring manager might be asking you different questions. So you can also, you can start with, I'm interviewing with a recruiter. I'm interviewing with the VP of the company that I'll be directly reporting to. So give me high level questions I can ask at this level of interviews. So it will actually tailor, because each interview process, you need to be prepared to answer different types of questions if it's a multiple steps process, and B, you need to also be able to ask the right questions to the right audience. So recruiter is questions you will answer to recruiter are going to be different than when you're speaking with a hiring manager, for example. So ChatGPT is great for that. Ron asked, how reliable are ChatGPT responses? Do we need to fact check them before using them? Yes. So absolutely, do not just blindly, thank you, Ron, for that. Do not just blindly, go with it. It's a conversation starter. So it's for yourself, right? It's like a brainstorm buddy to go through. Questions. So depending on what kind of information you're getting, questions are pretty good. If you're using it for cover letters, like in Deborah's case, like for example, write me a cover letter for the above role. Again, this is very general. You would want to make sure that you're actually putting the job description, so it drafts the cover letter. Better yet, what you want to do is you want to say, I'm applying for a technical writing role. Here's the job description. Based on my profile, create me a cover letter that speaks to points X, Y, and Z. Here's my profile. And then you copy paste your profile, so it will tailor it based on your actual experience and the job description. But then again, do not just copy paste it blindly. You need to run through it, read through it carefully, and adjust. Again, it's more of like a brainstorm buddy that you use to get the conversation going, to get yourself started if you like feel stuck, or if you're doing 1,000,001 cover letters and resumes, this is a great tool to get you started. Okay. Howard also said LinkedIn messages. Yes. LinkedIn message, say, I want to reach out to a recruiter on LinkedIn that is advertising a role that I'm interested in. What kind of short message I can message to get more information. Keep it simple, and you could like you need to also, you can also tell, like, keep it simple and like genuine. I don't know, for example, I don't want to come off as desperate. I don't know, just making things up. Let's just see what it comes up with. So it gives you like a little blah, 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 right? So, so you can, if you don't know where to start, so sending cold emails is a great way to, or you can also say, I have a common connection with a hiring manager that is hiring for the role I'm interested in. I would like to ask this connection to connect us, to introduce us, draft me an email I can use. So again, if you feel completely stuck, what I always say about ChatGPT, it's exciting but scary at the same time, because you have to find a nice balance between how much are you just giving out your critical thinking and thinking skills to this machine, right? And using it to your advantage, because, it's kind of scary because you can literally stop thinking and you're just like, can you just write me this thing? And you almost get into this habit of like asking for things all the time. So I'll leave it to you of how much you want to use it, but just balance it out and don't forget to include your own little twist to things. And, I think it's a great tool to use to simplify the job search, to speed things up, to help you brainstorm, because job search is draining. And sometimes we need new ideas, and sometimes we don't have somebody there to give us those new ideas. So this is a great way to brainstorm. You can ask it questions, you can talk to it like you would to a friend, and it will actually give you some good ideas that you might not have thought about, right? Or maybe you have to prepare a presentation for an interview and you want to make sure it's like solid, but you don't have anybody who's gone through that before, who understands your industry, who can, help you prepare for this presentation. ChatGPT is great for this as well. So it's a good tool, but again, just be mindful of how much you outsource to it and how much you are not, using your own creativity and your own thinking, right? So I always say, like, there's just a fine balance, and we have to just be mindful of it as we use this tool moving forward. But will
Elena,
this cover letter?
Elena,
Yep.
I was just going to add, Elena, that one of the most important things about AI, you've already sort of touched on, but I just want to reemphasize it, and that is when you get a response, if you've used something like a Hello AI or Chat GPT, and you ask a question, it sends back a really good response. Just make sure you tailor it, review it, tailor it. Maybe there are some things in there that are inconsistent with what you know to be true. Maybe there are some things in there like place name here, where you really have to go through and just make sure that you're doing due diligence in reviewing it before you do anything else with it.
Yep. Excellent point. And Daryl said, will this cover letter be scanned by a computer? Daryl, it depends. So there is no, I mean, as far as they say, but there is technically, it's original content. So even if you ask it to like regenerate, like right here, you ask it to regenerate, it will give you a new thing each time. Something to keep in mind is that ChatGPT only has information up to 2021. So up until, so if it's anything, you're asking it questions that are like, 2020, you want some recent research of 22 or 23, it won't have that. It's at 20 right now, it's only at 2021. So it has everything prior to that. So again, so just be mindful of that limitation on it right now. I don't know any recruiter who goes through the trouble of like scanning cover letters, honestly. For the like, I mean, I don't think we've caught up yet as recruiters, and frankly speaking, it's a fair tool to use. So in my network of recruiters, we don't look down upon somebody who's using this tool to write a cover letter, because again, like it's resumes, like we're not taught like to tailor resumes. So like we expect that people are going to be, doing research on how to best tailor your resume and using sometimes a resume writer. We don't care much about that. We just want to get to the right candidate. And if it helps, and the most important part for a recruiter is the interview. So cover letters, resumes is just a foot in the door. That's it. We just want to know, do you tick the boxes that we're looking for, right? Or is there potential? What's your story? So, but we'll spend more time now about that.